Hello and welcome to this edition of Success Gyan's podcast. I am Sawan Kapoor, India's leading career coach, and today we are going to talk about how smart professionals switch careers. See, the first thing that one has to understand is why do working professionals consider switching careers? Fundamentally, one only thinks of a change to either increase one's happiness or satisfaction or to avoid a pain point or correct the cause of regret or the anxiety that one is experiencing. That said, in the context of switching careers, research has found that the huge majority, that is over 90% of working professionals who want to switch careers, consider this because they feel that they are not where they should have been in their professional lives. Either they are not making the kind of money that they expected, or they feel the career they have is not their true calling, or they do not have opportunities to grow, or the culture of the company that they are in is not aligned with their value system. Or it could even be because of the mental burnout and being overworked, which does not allow them to have the right balance between their personal and professional lives. What needs to be understood here is that switching careers requires true introspection on two fronts. The first front is being able to differentiate if the dissatisfaction you are feeling is because you are truly facing an unfair or toxic situation, or if it is because the situation is asking you to come out of your comfort zone and you are resisting the work that it will take to grow to your next level. This is critical because if you are running away from a situation such as your industry or your function where you have experience and you want to enter a new industry or function where you do not have experience, you are expecting a situation that is less familiar to work out. So, in essence, what is happening here is you have been unable to solve a smaller problem, and thinking that the grass is greener on the other side, you now want to enter an industry or a function where you do not have experience, which is a bigger problem, and you are expecting a positive outcome. Switching careers requires a plan because there are different types of switches. See, the first type of switch is where one is just switching industries. See, relatively speaking, this is the easiest type of switch that one can make. The business function that you work in exists across multiple industries, most industries. So the functions of sales or marketing or operations or information technology, finance, accounts, supply chain, delivery, project and program management, analytics, production or manufacturing, R&D, product development, legal, administrative, customer experience, public relations, corporate affairs, design, these functions exist across multiple industries. So you can take your experience in a function and move to a different industry, and your experience still has value. This shift is relatively easier because to successfully shift, you need to only learn about the new industry. And industry knowledge is easier to gain than functional knowledge. So, if you work in marketing or operations or IT and you want to shift from the automotive industry to the energy industry, then the challenge in front of you is simpler in nature, where you just have to learn about the new industry. The second type of shift is one where you are looking to change your function. And such a shift is harder than the first one. This shift is harder because the knowledge that you require to make this shift is what you learned in college. So, for example, let's say you work in finance and want to switch to information technology. Now, the knowledge you gained in your function of finance was very different from the knowledge you need to gain to be successful in IT. In finance, you were dealing with things such as raising capital or the treasury function or budgeting or resource allocation, break even analysis, marginal costing principles, balance sheets and income statements and cash flows. But to move to IT, you need to know how to write code. You need to understand programming, testing and maintenance, platform upgradation, system deployment, system architecture, troubleshooting, and so on. And to learn these things, you probably did a degree in that area which armed you with that knowledge in the first place. So, a software engineer has a degree in computer applications, and a finance professional has a degree in corporate finance or international finance or markets and investments or financial mathematics and economics, etc. It is harder to acquire this subject matter expertise, and therefore it is more difficult to make a functional shift. The third type of shift is where you want to shift both your industry and your function. Naturally, this is the toughest because here you need a dual accelerated learning plan where one you can learn about the new industry and the other where you gain the requisite knowledge about the new function. The complexity of this shift makes this the most difficult one to execute. And most people approach a switch without the clear understanding of these dynamics before they get into the switching process. Successfully switching careers requires a growth mindset. It requires being able to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. It needs being able to live with the ambiguity till such time when a base of knowledge in the new industry and the new function sets in. People who make successful switches do not compare themselves with other people's careers because they know that comparison is the thief of joy and peace. They know that bad things can happen to good people and they don't live under the fallacy that the world is a fair place. Put simply, there are four factors that you require to successfully switch your career. And these factors are one, responsibility, two, reality, three, risk, and four, resilience. All four of these factors are needed to make a successful career switch. If you are being realistic, you have the ability to take risk, and you are resilient, but you don't take responsibility, you will then not take action. If you are responsible, you can take risk and are resilient, but you are not connected to reality, then you will not have direction. If you are responsible, are connected with reality, and are a resilient person, but lack the risk taking ability, then you will not achieve the results. And lastly, if you demonstrate responsibility, reality, and risk taking ability, but do not possess the needed resilience to go through with your intentions to switch, you will not have the perseverance required to make that switch successfully. All four qualities are going to be needed for you to successfully switch. And all three types of switches are possible, but you must plan for these. And your plan must also include a financial plan so you can continue to run the economic engine of your life while you are undergoing the switch. You must know how to take advantage of the power of networking. You must start working on your personal brand and have an accelerated learning plan in place so you are armed with the knowledge needed to make that switch successfully. It requires identifying your transferable skills so you have a solid basis to be able to market yourself to the new function or the new industry. I hope this podcast gave you a deeper appreciation for what is needed to be able to successfully switch your career. As always, it was wonderful to share this space with you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Keep fighting the good fight, and see you soon.